Norman Finkelstein is a Jewish-American poet who has written lots of modern and postmodernism poetry and Jewish literature. He was born in 1954 and started publishing his works in the 70s. He started working at Xavier University in Cincinnati in 1980 and retired in 2020. In 2016, Norman Finkelstein wrote the poem Forevertron, which is an example of postmodern literature. Postmodern literature rejects some of the key ideas of modernism, such as there being a clear certainty in everything, and many artists use this stance oftentimes to create artwork that is really up to interpretation.
I have built a machine to visit the stars. I have built a machine to outlast the stars. There is a glass ball inside a copper egg. There are dynamos and turbines, Tesla coils and magnets. There's a boy in Brooklyn, Wisconsin, and a boy in Eddington, England. They are the same boy. There is a man in a hat in Baraboo. They are all named Tom. They are all named Dr. Evermore, which is now their real name. Queen Victoria is watching. Among the giant insects, the fiddle-shaped birds, the stray voltage goes in the stray voltage. Cages, all silver, red, and blue. The music will signal the ascent. This is Overlord, Master Control. This is the Graviton. These are the celestial listening ears. When you ask me what has changed my life, I tell you motors, generators, compressors, transformers. I tell you boilers, pumps, transmitters, and flywheels. When you ask me if I found them, I say no. I rescued them. The poem's name, Forevertron, comes from an actual structure built by engineer Tom Every, known as Dr. Evermore. Every spent decades collecting the scrap metal used for the Forevertron and built it imagining that it would launch him into the heavens on a magnetic lightning force field. The next few lines of the poem explain the amount of scrap metal that has been used for the creation, explaining how a lot of random things can come together to make something beautiful. The poem then goes on to state the different places Every has been, from his birthplace in Brooklyn, Wisconsin to Eddington, England, presenting them as if he were several separate beings, then combining them back into Tom Every, that is, drawing a parallel between combining Every's different parts of life together and taking different scraps of metal and material and turning them into an intricate work of art. The later stanzas explain the various gadgets and gizmos within the Forevertron, but one line, Queen Victoria is watching, is a tribute to the original imagination of Tom Every, who imagined that Queen Victoria would be watching as Dr. Evermore was blasted into space. Final line, when you ask me if I found them, I say no, I rescued them, shows that rather than melting down these pieces of scrap metal, Every, quote-unquote, rescued them to use for his project, the Forevertron.
The poem is split into 7 stanzas, each with 3 lines. Therefore, the poem is made up of 7 tercets. Each tercet is about 30 syllables. The poem has an aphora, epiphora, and repetition scattered throughout it, such as the beginning of the poem, I have built a machine to visit the stars, I have built a machine to outlast the stars.
The rhyme scheme of the poem is free verse, with no particular structure to the poem, and also lacks consistency with rhymes. There are no rhymes, as well as any distinguishable meters. Finkelstein employs a loose and irregular structure that mirrors the fragmented and exploratory nature of the poem's content.
When closely examined, the stanzas may appear disjointed and also cut into each other. However, when we zoom out, we can see that these elements come together to create a work of art, much like the fragmented pieces of the metal sculpture, the Forevertron.